The narrative surrounding Canada's next fighter jet has been a long, winding road paved with political landmines and budgetary black holes. For years, the conversation seemed locked in a predictable stalemate. It felt like a heavyweight title fight between American titans. On one side stood the F-35 Lightning II, the fifth-generation Ghost. On the other, the FA-18 Super Hornet, a proven, brawny workhorse, a more conservative, known-quantity approach. Just when the decision seemed foregone, a ghost from competition's past re-emerged. Sweden's Saab Gripen E is back on the table. Its return isn't just a minor plot twist, it could rewrite Canada's defense script. The Gripen was previously thought out of the running, a casualty of a procurement process favoring closer ties with the United States. Yet here we are in late 2025. Whispers have become credible reports. Something has shifted deep within Ottawa's Department of National Defense. It injects a massive dose of unpredictability into a competition many had already called. The quiet, efficient contender from Scandinavia is forcing everyone to ask new, uncomfortable questions. Before the Gripen's dramatic re-entrance, Canada's choice seemed to be a classic two-horse race. The frontrunner, the Lockheed Martin F-35, a Lightning II. Less a jet, and more a flying supercomputer, a node in a vast network designed to see everything and remain unseen. The challenger, Boeing F/A-18E/F Super Hornet. The Super Hornet is the polar opposite, not stealth, but an evolution of the proven CF-18 Canada flies. Proponents say it provides 80% of the capability for a fraction of the F-35's acquisition and sustainment costs. Canada's need for new jets is not an academic debate, it is an urgent operational necessity. The Royal Canadian Air Force's fleet of legacy CF-188 Hornets is flying on borrowed time. These airframes are old, tired, and increasingly difficult and expensive to maintain. They lack advanced sensors, networking capabilities, and electronic warfare suites needed to survive today's battle space. The core of Canada's requirement is finding an aircraft that can do it all. It must patrol the world's second-largest country, from temperate rainforests to the high Arctic. It also needs advanced systems to integrate seamlessly with its primary ally, the United States. That complex set of needs, coupled with a notoriously difficult procurement system and intense political scrutiny, created the perfect storm. Into this high-stakes contest between American giants steps the Saab Gripen E. At first glance, the Gripen might seem like an underdog, but that perception is dangerously misleading. The Gripen E is a complete reimagining of what a modern, non-stealth fighter can be. Gripen E, efficiency. Gripen E, electronic warfare. Smart affordability is central to the Gripen E. The Gripen E was engineered for low operational and sustainment costs. Lower flight hour costs let pilots train more and stay proficient. It lets an air force buy a larger fleet for the same budget. It can operate from short, austere runways. It can operate from reinforced public roads. It was designed for rapid turnarounds, refueled, rearmed, and sent back into the fight by a small ground crew in minutes. That stems from Sweden's dispersed defense posture. For Canada's vast territory and few northern bases, that's a real strategic advantage. Ultimately, the Gripen E is a bold alternative vision. To truly understand the Gripen, one must first understand the nation that built it. Sweden has a unique and fascinating history. For over 2 centuries it has maintained a policy of official neutrality in armed conflicts. But this neutrality was never passive. It was an armed neutrality. That posture forced Sweden to develop a highly advanced, entirely self-reliant defense industry. Volvo, Ericsson, Saab, these companies became world leaders by building the smartest and most efficient products. This ethos is baked into the Gripen's DNA. The aircraft's entire architecture is open, making it easier to integrate new weapons, sensors, and software from different countries. Choosing the Gripen would offer Canada a degree of technological sovereignty. This contrasts sharply with the closed proprietary systems of some competitors. The Swedish approach is less about selling a product and more about offering a partnership that could bolster Canada's domestic industry. Therefore, the Gripen E is more than just a fighter jet. It's a strategic choice. It represents a move away from the traditional, alliance-centric model of defense procurement toward a more independent, agile, and self-sufficient posture. While the Gripen E's strategic advantages and cost advantages are compelling, it is the aircraft's cutting-edge technology that makes it a truly formidable contender. At its heart is a powerful General Electric F414 engine, giving it impressive speed and agility. One of the most praised aspects is its revolutionary avionics architecture. Critical flight control systems are kept separate from mission and combat systems, a federated approach. It allows rapid and affordable software upgrades without painstaking, expensive retesting of flight-critical software. Inside the cockpit, the pilot uses a wide-area display, a panoramic touchscreen giving a customizable overview of the battle space. Sensor data, maps, threat warnings, and weapon status are fused into one coherent picture. This design dramatically reduces pilot workload, allowing faster, better-informed decisions. Gripen E was designed from the outset for ease of maintenance. Components are easy to reach without specialized equipment. The aircraft features a comprehensive hums that can predict parts failures, streamlining logistics and maximizing availability. This combination creates a potent and efficient fighting machine, delivering huge capability for a manageable logistical footprint. The true lethality of a modern fighter is determined less by speed, and more by its ability to see the enemy first and control the electromagnetic spectrum. In this domain, the Gripen E is a certified genius. Its primary sensor is the Raven ES-05 active electronically scanned array radar. Unlike mechanically scanned radars, an AESA can perform multiple tasks simultaneously: tracking, mapping, guiding. What makes the Gripen E's radar installation clever is its repositioner. The entire AESA array is mounted on a swash plate. This increases its field of regard to over 200 degrees. The pilot can look sideways and track off-nose targets. It allows the Gripen to fire a missile and then turn away, reducing its own vulnerability while still guiding the weapon. This is a capability few other fighters possess. Beyond radar, the Gripen E is an electronic warfare powerhouse. Designed to fight and win in dense, contested electromagnetic environments, it can detect enemy radar emissions, identify and locate them with extreme precision. More importantly, it can actively jam and deceive those radars and incoming missiles. It can function as a stealth killer, using passive sensors to detect low observable aircraft without giving away its own position. Then it uses powerful data links to share targeting information with friendly assets, embracing electronic attack as a primary means of survival and lethality. Canada's geography is a defining feature of its defense challenges: vast, sparsely populated regions, and a notoriously harsh climate. Patrolling this territory demands a fighter with unique attributes. Jets that depend on large, well-equipped main bases are at a disadvantage. Enter the Gripen E, a design philosophy that matches Canada's needs. Dispersed locations and austere runways become viable operating nodes. Imagine RCAF Gripens operating from short runways in Inuvik, Yellowknife, pre-surveyed stretches of the Alaska Highway. Transit times to intercept drop dramatically. You get a resilient air defense network. Unpredictable, survivable. Spread out air power is far harder to neutralize in a first strike. Gripen E's low operational cost is huge for a country this big. Lower cost per flight hour equals more sorties for the same budget. More pilot training, more presence. Finally, Gripen's sensor suite and data linking are ideal for Canada. Powerful AESA radar and passive IRST. Share that data in real time with ground stations and naval vessels. A resilient North American surveillance network. The Gripen E isn't just an interceptor, it's a flying sensor node, built to watch the Great White North and assert Canadian sovereignty. Lower operating costs and dispersed capability make it a practical strategic fit for Canada's unique defense needs. Choosing the Saab Gripen E would send powerful ripples across Canada's military, defense industry, and international relationships. Saab's proposal has historically included a robust industrial and technological benefits package. It would be a clear signal that Canada is charting a more independent course in its defense policy. While Canada would remain committed to NATO and NORAD, opting for a non-American fighter would subtly rebalance its posture. This could be transformative for Canada's domestic industry, production and support facilities in Canada, real technology transfer, genuine partnership in developing and sustaining the aircraft would invigorate aerospace, create high-tech jobs. Operating the Gripen would require a cultural shift: agility, dispersal, electronic warfare, and clever tactics. It would foster an innovative, smarter, and more resilient force. There would be intense pressure from Washington to maintain commonality with the United States. Ensuring deep interoperability between Gripen data links and American systems would be a top technical priority for NORAD. For Canada's domestic industry, a Gripen purchase could be transformative: genuine partnership, R&D, and sovereign capabilities. It would enable a higher operational tempo, and a leaner, smarter Royal Canadian Air Force, but it would be a calculated risk. The surprising re-emergence of the Saab Gripen E has transformed Canada's fighter competition, from a predictable choice into a profound strategic crossroads. The decision is no longer simply about which jet is better, it is about what kind of air force and what kind of country Canada wants to be for the next half-century. F-35, deeper integration and stealth, Super Hornet, pragmatism and known costs. The Gripen E represents a third path, bold, innovative and self-reliant. It prioritizes operational efficiency, technological sovereignty, and a posture tailored for Canada. The F-35's networking and stealth are undeniable, but they come at staggering cost. The Super Hornet is reliable but lacks some future-proof technology. Gripen offers a balance of cutting-edge tech and lifecycle affordability, but requires Ottawa to step outside its comfort zone. As the government reevaluates its options in late 2025, the stakes could not be higher. The decision will be a defining moment. The aircraft chosen will patrol Canada's skies for generations, shaping sovereignty and global contributions. The shocking comeback has forced a necessary debate. Canada's future in the sky is not yet written. The final decision will be a true fork in the sky.